There is some students that like to read and write at school or at work or at their house, and there's some people that can study right from their computer or right from their library in the nearest city that they have, or depending how they feel comfortable with educational support. I've only visited the libraries around the area and in the campuses that I attended school in. I went to so many different schools, and I lived in more than two cities, uh, and I visited more than two libraries. And I was looking into reading, writing, and making a story happen, a movie, a book, how to read and write, dictionary and thesaurus, meanings and words and nouns and plural nouns and verbs and so I was inquire when I was little, when I was in elementary school and when I was also in middle school. When I was in high school, I joined the sports team, the softball team, and the band team, the color guard, the dancers with the flags. I didn't last a long time in the basketball. I quit the same year, the same semester. I didn't even last a few months. Um, I didn't graduate from high school. I only graduated in elementary school. And I was remembering how they use the notebooks for teaching the teachers. And I was remembering how they make books and how they make movies. And Oral Stein made a movie, The Goosebumps. And me and my cousin, well, my cousin's dad, he's a teacher at a high school, and my dad worked as a custodian in a school when he left my family. And my mom, she worked as a parent volunteer for some time, and when I was in elementary. And well, when I was in high school, I left off in ninth grade, and now that I'm a 32, 35-year old, looking back to what I did in elementary school and high school makes me think a lot of what I would have wanted if I could have accomplished or if I would have accomplished everything that I was supposed to. And I just remember when I was a kid, the teachers used to sit down then and teach us how to read and write, words, numbers, how to answer questions of stories, and they would feed us breakfast and lunch, and we would have a very good time in lunchtime and in gym time. In gym time, they would take us outside to the patio, like to the park that was part of the property of the school. And they would take us to the gym, and we would do lots of activities in the gym. And I wanted to write a book and a story of how it was that I became a good student in gym class. And I wanted to write down my experience, what I remember, what I would have wanted to have done, and if I would have graduated from all three schools, elementary, middle school, and high school. I graduated from elementary, but not from high school. I left off in ninth grade, and so I remember the teachers, they would sit down with us in a table in the classroom, and they would explain to us what the notebooks are for, the writing paper, the blank sheets, the coloring pages, the books from the campus, the books from the library. They would tell us what the show and tell on stage performances is for. They would tell us what the stage is for performing, for the auditorium. Our auditorium when we were kids, when we first started, was in the cafeteria. And I remember the teacher would give us rules that we couldn't cross the line on the paperwork, and we were barely learning how to read and write stories and paragraphs and sentences and questions and words, learning how to spell, how to ask a question, how to write your own story in a paragraph, in a chapter, and they would teach us how to read and write the questions and the vocabulary words of the books of each lesson and each subject. And I just admire and I enjoy the view of the activities that the teacher would do with us in the classroom. She used to have a permanent marker, but it was not the brand Sharpie. It was another marker, permanent marker. And I remember that she had a chalkboard and a notebook where she would use her permanent marker. She had all colors: purple, green, blue, red, black, brown, yellow, orange. She had those colors that I mentioned, but I don't think she had like a pink or a white. And so I remember she would teach us how to do arts and craft in the table, like coloring pages, cutting and pasting, and writing on a activity arts pages, like a Mother's Day greeting card made by hand, and they would teach us a lot of stuff, and so that's what I remember from the classroom. And I was really, really happy because it made me want to go back to school, back to my friends, back to my mom and dad, and back to the house. But I always get this feeling that I'm being lied to, and that my mom and my dad are lying to me about something. And I often get this feeling that someone is following me or trying to do something to me. And I've had this problem since I was a little girl, since I was little, and I kind of didn't think about that for some time when I was in high school, and I realized that the reason I wouldn't go to class on time when I was in middle school was because I was trying to look for new opportunities uh, by starting a relationship. And so when I got to high school, I wasn't liking the relationship I had because I was leaving my education and my family and my family's residential for a person who wasn't from the same area, the same school. And I had just met the person, and I just think that that wasn't the proper way to marry someone or be in a relationship with someone. I wasn't even 18 years old yet. So I didn't graduate from high school. I left off in ninth grade and freshman year because of that. I was with a person for about 2 years or a year and a half. And I've never purchased my own house or my own property or my own car. I don't even have, as a matter of fact, a paying salary job or career or a salary. I don't even have a driver's license, so I think that for right now I'm okay where I'm at. But I'm starting not to like the idea of never going back to school or work, and I'm starting not to like the idea of staying home all day every day or with my mom every day. She's not all day with me, but being with her every day and her interrupting my schedule any time of the day kind of messes up the plans that I have for the future. So I'm planning a way out, trying to see if I can go back to work or back to school, or if I can fix my educational plans or something, because I don't have a salary per week or per hour or per month or per year, and I really need to make some changes. I get very tired of being inside. I wanted to go to the gym and go for about an hour or two, probably three, uh, like every day, or at least a few days out of the week. And I don't have the possibility of that because I cannot walk a far distance, even if I was to try. The other day I was in a swimming pool area here where I live, and I was trying to go back to my apartment, and I kept trying to turn back so I could walk back to the apartment, and I couldn't. And I tried and I tried, and I just couldn't. And so I realized that people don't always get what they want, and that people don't always do what they want to. And so I had to accept the fact that I wasn't where I wanted or where I would have wanted, but that I was there, and that at least I was there, you know. And at least it was in a better place than other people that are at hospitals, or that are feeling sick, or that are in a really bad situation. So I just kind of didn't pay attention to that and just threw myself in the swimming pool and didn't want to pay much attention to that. And that's been happening to me very often, where I want to go back to a certain area by walking or going on my own, and I can't. And so my aunt and my mom, they're the only ones helping me out right now, and both of them have a car, and both of them have a vehicle. They have a driver's license, both of them, in transportation. They have a car, and so they take advantage of the fact that they have time to do whatever they want, and they do whatever they gotta do for me at any time, but if and when they agree to. And it's hard because here they have them on a schedule for work, and for classes, and for anything that has to do with public services, work, and attendance. And so she's scheduled to come at a certain time for work, but she's not coming in, my mom's sister. And she's using the excuse of, I can pick you up and you can stay at my house. And it's like, no, you got to make the hours of work so that I can get the changes that I need at my residential, at my house. And it's because it's so she could help me, not so I could help her. And they are going to pay her, but if and when she does the work that she's supposed to. And the reason they pay her is because of that. And so she's from the family, so she has responsibility with her children and her spouse and her family. And I grew up with my grandparents, and of the 10 years that I lived there in that neighborhood, never did she come to visit us. She would go visit my grandmother, but she wouldn't go visit us when we were renting on the side, because we were renting and my dad, he didn't live with us. And never of the 10 years did she ever stop by to make a visit. And my mom likes to go to her house every now and then, but because I'm tired of being by myself with her, I haven't seen any changes or anything. And I was in a situation where I didn't know what I was doing out of my life, and I just didn't know what I wanted and what I would have wanted. And I just didn't have a goal. I just didn't have a plan. And so I was over at the outlets at the mall in Houston, the Iceland over there in Galveston. I was in the outlets over there in Dickinson, in the Houston area. And I realized how important it is to make decisions and to be able to do what you really want to do of your life and of yourself. And so I didn't graduate in high school. My education experience is not very high, and it's not very good. I left off in ninth grade when I was like 15, 16 years old. I kept attending classes after that, but I left off in ninth grade. I did attend classes after that, but I didn't get any credits. I didn't finish the program plan that I had, or the college plans that they had for me in the school. The school gave us an application to sign for college, and they had a good plan for every student that signed up for the application, and everybody qualified. And they gave us rules and regularities, and I was just supposed to attend classes, and that's it for college. And I didn't attend the classes for college, and I logged into my FAFSA or FIFA account for the college pin where you sign in and out for the classes or attending classes or the schedule. And unfortunately, because I moved the PIN information, registration options, and I didn't attend the classes, I can no longer be accepted at the college program unless that I get my GED or diploma. And well, my cousin right now, he's a little bit younger than me, more than 5 years, and he's very advanced. Like, I would say that he's more advanced than me. He has a diploma. He's already going to college for a degree. He goes to the gym. He already has a friend to count on in a relationship. Well, a friend. And I remember at the age that he had, well, that he has, I didn't have a diploma and I still don't have a diploma. And so I went to Lowe's and Home Depot and Staples at one point, and um, I went to McCoy's, and I went to Cons, the furniture store, and I went to Lags, the furniture store, and everything, because I had a boyfriend who was proposing to me in high school, but we broke up because I wasn't liking the way things were going. I wanted something better for my life and for my future. And now that the years have passed, I think to myself, what would it have been of my life if he hadn't proposed and we would have just continued with the relationship? Or if I would have replied uh, properly to his question of when he was asking if I wanted to marry him, what would it have been of me and him? And sometimes, yes, I want to go back to his house and apologize and tell him that I'm very sorry for the way I behaved and that I would like to reconciliate with him as friends and maybe get back together. But I'm afraid that I might regret it or that I might not want to continue with him as a friend and that I might not know the way out of how to tell him that I don't want to continue being friends. And I didn't like the way things were, so we broke up back in high school, and I'm already over the age of 25. I'm gonna be 35 in a few years. This year I'll be 33, and I haven't seen him ever since high school, before the age of 20. And right now I'm going to be 33, and I've never been pregnant or married through church or through the courthouse. And I've never owned a property or a house or a car. I don't have a driver's license. As a matter of fact, I cannot get my Texas ID for personal reasons. And I cannot have a job, a paying job, or go to college or to school. And it's hard because I want to start my own family. I want to have a husband or a wife. I think a husband, and I want to buy my own property so I can build a house and move out. But with the little bit of money that I have right now and the little bit of work experience, I don't think that that will ever happen. I was getting lots of hope of a wedding and lots of hope about building my own house. And I even went to Home Depot. I even went to Lowe's. I even went to McCoy's. I even went to Sher Williams, the paint store. I was looking into home contractors, carpenting, remodeling, material for the floor, material for the outline of the doors and of the windows. I was looking for contractors and property lots that are for sale because I want to move to Sherryland. I don't know if it's possible, and I want to buy a property over there. And I wanted to go visit one of my cousins who was living over there in Edinburgh, but I don't think that I can. And I was thinking of taking my friend with me if I'm by myself and not have a husband or a relationship, and just letting her son go to college and help him out, like to have a place to stay at. And if my property is big enough, I'll build in a pool. I want my pool to be like a like a like a 3, 4, 5.5 foot um, swimming pool, and I want for it to be very very long and not very very wide. Cause I like to swim, but I don't like to expand too much because of the kids. And I like when my family comes over to swim with me and stuff like that. And so I won't go into details about that. I'll make another video about that house that I was planning. And so I was looking at the paint buckets, the brands, the brushes, the painting rolls, the cabinets, the wood, the tile, the colors of the tiles, the carpets, the patterns of the carpet, different carpets, different tile, marble, sheetrock, wood, brick, stone, cement. I was looking at gardens and properties, and you can buy a very fucked up property and fix the garden. You don't need to have something very new, you can fix it. And that's what makes your house more interesting because you invest the work and the time to your house and makes your neighbors admire the view and you as a neighbor. But when you don't dedicate your time to yourself, your house, work, and your family, you don't make any changes or anything happen. Like right now, I'm taking the time to think before I get a car, a driver's license, a Texas ID, and a job. Because I need to go buy some materials so I can make some shelves or so I can buy some stuff that I need for my apartment. From here, they're gonna move us to a house, like a house with a property, and I'm gonna have to go to work. And I wanted to buy a property over there in Sherryland and build a house over there, but I don't think I'll ever be able to do that because my mom, she doesn't agree to anything, and she only wants me to make the changes in my life that she agrees to. And it's not supposed to be like that. Once you're married or you have a spouse or a husband, it's about it's about the relationship and how far you can go in the relationships. And so I haven't seen my husband or my boyfriend or my fiance that I had when I was in high school since that time that we broke up. And I'm already going to be 33, 35. So that's why I'm updating the educational program experience that I have and progress that I have. And yeah, so I don't have a diploma or anything, and I don't have that much work experience, but I do have work experience at fast foods and restaurants and stuff like that.